Welcome yogis. Today we are doing a backyard yoga and hopefully you can hear me okay. There's a little bit of wind, but not too much. We are going to be focusing today on inner joy. That is the theme of our practice. If you have a yoga mat, you're going to want to go ahead and grab that, have it handy. And then for the latter portion of class, if you would like to have some yoga blocks or maybe a rolled up towel, blanket, or some pillows, you can feel free to grab those as well. I will tell you, if you have been told by a physician or a medical professional to refrain from doing physical activity or not to exercise, please don't do this video today. Make sure it's okay with your doctor first, and anytime you should feel pain or discomfort, feel free to stop. We are going to be starting on the ground today, so if you want to grab extra cushion for your knees too for child's pose, go for that. I'm going to put my blocks and notes right here so I can easily see. And we are going to start in our child's pose. A lot of today's practice I will be showing side on view, so whatever way you can see best, feel free to follow. For child's pose, my knees are wide and I'm going to push my hips back. For today, forehead touches the mat and arms reach behind me. And I'm just breathing deep. Feeling my hips settle back. Let's try one more breath. Bring your hands down to the mat and come up to all fours for our cat and cow. Rounding our back. Inhaling, expanding up. Exhale, rounding. And expanding. Let's try two more. Articulating through the spine. Feeling the firm hands press into the mat. And a little bit of sway through the tail feather. About to come into our first downward facing dog of the class. Flatten your back, tuck your toes, lift the knees, and press back. Now a few heel pedals here just to sway out the hips, stretch the calves, and we're going to practice a flow. This is called three-legged dog. Option, front leg can lift up, or you can hook at the knee, open the hip, and settle down. Same thing, back leg lifting up, open the hip, and settle down. Try one more time each side. And last time, right leg or front leg comes all the way up, step to the outside of your mat, and give a little twist. Now if you like to ground the back knee, you absolutely may, or you could keep that back knee lifted. Let's come back into the downward dog. Back leg or left leg lifts all the way up, belly tight, and shift foot forward. Option to twist. Back knee could be down, or back knee could be up. Let's settle into down dog one more time. And knees come down to the mat. Let's roll our way up, coming into camel pose. This is a back bend. Place your knees directly underneath hips and let your open hand come into the back of your body. Lift your chest, open up the heart, and I try not to let my head hang all the way back. I'm trying to look up on maybe a 45-degree angle. Lots of chest stretching today, heart openers. Take one more breath in and out. coming back down all fours. We're going to step into our forward fold, curling back toes, lifting the hips, walking feet towards the hand, and think like you're a rag doll and you're going to roll up very slow. Shake out. For our sun salutations, this is a very flowing practice meant to help elevate our heart rate just a bit. We're only doing 2 salutations. I will again be showing side view. So step up towards the front edge of your mat and have your feet at about hip width apart. Bring the arms overhead and upward salute, touch hands, and then we're going to bow forward, hands at heart in Anjali Mudra, coming into forward fold. Halfway rise, hands to shin, belly tight, forward fold. Step your leg furthest from me, back, runner's lunge, option to twist, hand on thigh or hand up in the air. You pick. Bring this top hand down to the ground, press hips up high, downward facing dog. I'm going to show a couple options for your plank, so you choose whatever's appropriate for you. Option, knees down, flatten out into kneeling plank, or option, stay on your toes. This first time I will start on my knees. I'm going to lower down a quarter to halfway to the floor and elbows skim the side of my ribs, Chaturanga push-up. Hips down, separate movement. Point the toes, squeeze your shoulder blades and glutes together, lift the heart. Keep in mind, in your cobra, your elbows could be very bent or your arms could be more straight, depending on how your back is feeling today. Coming back up into plank of choice, curl back toes, downward facing dog, and walk your feet up to hands. Halfway rise, flat back, belly in, forward fold. Circle sweep up, touch the hands, and let them come back down to the heart center, hinging forward from the hips, forward fold again. Halfway rise, fingertips tip below the knee, extend head, forward fold, little surrender. Now your front leg that is closest to me, steps back into runner's lunge and twist, either hand on thigh or hand up. Top arm comes down, press into downward facing dog. You can shake the head yes, shake the head no, and let the weight of the head just drop. Coming into whatever plank works for you. This time I'm going to show high plank on the toes. I push forward off the toes, Chaturanga hover, hips down, roll the shoulders back, squeezing through the glutes hard, and coming back into downward facing dog from my plank. Walk the feet up to your hands. Active lift, forward fold. Circle, sweep up, and hands to heart. Shake out. Our strength series is next. This is based a lot off of lunging. So I'm going to show you an example of a lunge facing forward. Then I'm going to turn sideways again to do our series. But I want you to see that my legs are a little bit wide and really long. So as far as the width, it's about hip width, and then I step back really long. Right now my back toe is in my grass. I want to bend my forward knee, so my knee is in line with the second or third toe, and my knee is right over my ankle. The back leg is straight, the hips are forward. This is the position for our high lunge, and we're going to play around with that back heel, moving it up and down. Here comes the sun. All right, I'm going to start this first time with my leg closest to you guys, closest to the camera, moving back. So pick your favorite leg, Keep your stance wide. Step back, bend the forward knee, make sure it's in alignment, second toe over the ankle, and lift the arms high. So shine the heart forward, set the shoulders into the back pockets, and make sure you're not dropping your chin or overly arcing your neck back. We're going to spin our back heel down, open out the arms, coming into Warrior Two. This flow is going to require a little bit of strength in your back ankle and in your back foot. But we're trying to ground down, especially through this forward foot. So feel your forward foot push into the ground, lift your back heel, twist back into high lunge. And then if you wanted to take a twist, wrap your forward bent knee, hand to knee, hand to hip, and twist. Let's try this with breath. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, lunge with twist. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, Warrior Two. If you're not liking the flow, just stay in your high lunge or your Warrior Two. Those are great strengthening moves. One more. Each portion of the flow fits with our breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. There goes my mat. Come back into your beautiful Warrior Two and hold. So your legs will maintain this position. Tip backward into reverse warrior, or as we call it, sun warrior. Very appropriate because the sun is right there for me. And stretching out the whole body here. Hands onto the thighs. Turn your toes towards the front corners of your mat and sink down. Gesture of gratefulness, Anjali Mudra. Hands at heart. See my shirt has hands. Hands to heart. Open out. We're going to repeat that exact same series to the opposite side of the mat. So begin to maneuver your feet into the Warrior Two position. Let's take a few breaths in our reverse warrior. Lift the rib cage off the hip. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Now strengthen the back leg. Let's lift up into our high lunge and widen your feet if you feel a bit off balance. Inhale here. Exhale, dropping the back heel, coming into Warrior Two. So I didn't mention it last time, but if your arms or shoulders are hurting you, place your hands on hips. Inhale, rising back up, high lunge, coming into high lunge with a twist. Let's flow. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So my feet, the base of support for my whole body, they are subtly moving throughout this flow. We want to use those muscles in our feet. Feet are the foundation of everything in our body. And you should feel that front thigh starting to get a little bit toasty. Let's take one more flow. It's nice out now that the sun's here. Coming back into our Warrior Two and back into our Goddess Pose squat. Turn toes out, sinking down. We're going to do a hip opener. If you feel like you have some hip or knee issues going on today, I recommend you staying here in Goddess Pose squat, either in Anjali Mudra or supporting your thighs. If you're coming with me into Malasana, it is a deep squat, so your knees and your hips are the boss. Here's how we get into it slow. Walk your hands down to the ground. Walk your feet in so that way your heels and balls of your feet can still connect to the floor. Take a few times to test your squat. Where is your ankle mobility right here? I need to come in just a little bit closer with my feet. I want my heels and balls of the feet down to the ground. Sitting back into squat. And my porch has a slight backward pitch, so I feel like I want to tip over. So I'm using my core a lot to stay where I am. Elbows to the inside of knees, trying to flatten my back without falling backwards, and pushing my hands together. Get ready for the big moan when we stand up. Fingers to floor, lift the hips, and roll up. Shaking everything out. Woo! Did you make a big noise when you came up? All right. Balance section, we're gonna reopen through the chest. Open up your elbows and give a little cross hug here. Tuck your chin. Give a little open of the chest and opposite elbow on top. Pose of the dancer. I will face towards camera on this one, but you guys can face whatever way feels good to you. We start our pose of the dancer like we're a stork standing on one leg. The supporting knee is soft, never locked. And if you have access to a wall or a chair and you want to hold on to that, that's totally fine. If you're coming with me and you're just staying balanced in space, reach one arm back, grab the inside or the outside of your ankle and pull knee close to knee. Reach one arm forward or overhead and start to tip. Keep knee soft, belly in. You're trying to pull your heel into your back and feel your shoulder blades slide towards your glutes. So you're in a back bend and a balance all at once. Also feeling the quadriceps muscle stretch out. Hold here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming out. This next time I show this balance, I'm going to go side view so you can have that as a frame of reference. Plus, my porch is very sloped, so this way is a little easier. Let's stand like we're a stork. Option, inside or outside of your heel, ankle, rabbit, knee close to knee, arm forward or up, belly tight, hinge forward. Focus on one unmoving spot. And rest. Shake out. We're about to come down to the ground. I am going to be showing one very advanced variation of a bridge pose. We're going to have 2 modified variations of bridges and then something that we call the wheel, Chakrasana. It's a full back bend where you're fully flipped back. So if you have any neck or spinal or wrist issues going on, even something like high blood pressure, I don't recommend going into wheel. I recommend stopping at the 2 postures that I showed previous, and I'll make sure I give you lots of cues to know when it's okay to stop. Bridge pose. Start with your heels close to your glutes, to your butt, and there's about a fist distance between the knees. We roll back, and our hands press deeply into the ground. Now that sun's directly in my eyes, so we're going to continue this. Let's lift up the hips, and we're going to walk the shoulders under our body. Clasp the hands and press the hip sockets up. This is option 1. Option 2, release the hands and flow. The arms overhead, inhale, lift, exhale, rolling down. So maybe you like option 1, maybe option 2 is for you. Option 3 is the wheel. Now the wheel is not for anyone with any spinal, neck, or wrist issues, only if you're feeling good to go there. This next time you come up, if you want to continue to flow, that's fine. If you're coming with me, wheel, heels towards the side of the head, walk your feet into a solid place, elbows straight up. We're going to press into wheel. Belly is in. You see the world from a new point of view. To come out of wheel, tuck chin, lower to shoulder blades. Everyone rolls down and knees to chest. You could grip back behind thighs. It's exhilarating the first time you get up into that wheel. Maybe rock your knees side to side. Let's tuck our chin, roll ourselves up. Our next posture, fish pose. For this one, if you would like to use 2 blocks, this is really great if you do have a neck issue to use 2 blocks. I'm going to try to get my eyes out of the sun by saying if it helps me to face the other way, maybe not. But if you have your 2 blocks or folded up towel, pillow, you're going to place it long ways. So that way it'll fit behind your head and upper back. Let me show. My upper back is resting, my head is resting. And I want to bring my elbows out to the side, like so. And I'm stretching my chest. We're gonna stay here for 5 breaths, and your knees could be bent if you're dealing with a back issue, or fully extend your legs. We're just gonna breathe and relax here. Find your own breath rhythm. And when you've gotten to about 5 deep breaths, you can think about exiting the pose, or if you wanted to stay here longer, feel free. When you are ready, bend the knees, place the hands down, use the hands to help you press up, and we come into a seated forward fold. Now here's the yoga teacher hack for if you have a hard time reaching your toes in a forward fold. You find a block, a pillow, a thick book to sit up on, and you extend your legs from there. Flexed or pointed toes, yogi's choice today, lifting up and folding forward. Is it about touching your toes? Absolutely not. Your hands could be here on the ground or here on the shin. We're going to take a second variation of our forward fold. It's called seated head of the knee pose. If you would like to remain up on your yoga block or pillow, feel free. I'm gonna come off because personally this one is better for me, grounded to the floor, but you stay wherever you like. We're going to come into what I call a little split straddle. So one foot comes to my inner thigh, opposite leg extends out. Now most yogis will tell you to try to get your forehead down to your knee. That's not possible for, I would say, most of us. So if you wanted to use your pillow or handy dandy yoga block again, you could place it above the knee and let your forehead rest onto that yoga block, even if it's turned up high. The traditional pose looks something like this. If you have a little more flexibility, you're trying to work today, reach forward to the foot, think forehead to knee. Try to level the shoulders. And then walk your way up whenever you're ready to change sides. Swap out the legs. And remember, block is your friend. If you want to, use it right here. If you would like to be a little more traditional, coming down lower. Walk your way up. We have 2 more yoga poses and they're on our back. If you would like to use your yoga block or blocks for our last posture, go ahead and have those ready to the right and left of your mat. If you have pillows, cushions, 2 towels, those work just as well. We're starting with Happy Baby and then we're ending with our reclining bound angle pose. So, on the back, option for Happy Baby, to grip the back of the thighs and open from here. Otherwise, you could try to grab your ankles or the bottoms of your feet. And Happy Baby, we're trying to lengthen our tailbone long in front of us. And some people like to rock their Happy Baby side to side. Some people like to kick their feet like a Happy Baby in their crib. Or some people like to just stay solid. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. When you're ready to exit from the Happy Baby, bring the soles of the feet together, pinky blades on the floor, and you can set up your yoga blocks or cushions to support your knees. Hands on the belly. This will be our final resting pose for our practice today, our little mini Savasana. Let's take 3 deep belly breaths here. Inhale big, feel the hands on the belly rise. Exhale, let them fall. Let your hands relax. Move the blocks, knees point upward. Roll to your side and press yourself up to an easy seated position. I'd like to end our yoga practice today with our traditional yoga salutation, Namaste, which means the light in me sees and respects the light in you. Namaste.